To that initiative was my roadmap that I unveiled at the beginning of the year after my appointment. If you recall vividly, I emphasized that there's need for us to standardize logistics services, determine a more professional way of charges on logistics services that are provided. So there is no time that is the best time, if not now. So we needed to do some background preparation before launching. So that was what brought about it. And what was it meant to achieve? It was meant to achieve unison and harmonization of the services provided. For example, you can agree with me today that we cannot determine the cost of clearing consignment at a port, especially what is the service charge on any container by the freight forwarder, except for maybe corporate firms that you can be able to tell this is how much they charge specifically for service charge per container, but it's not so across the board. So because of this inconsistency, we needed to have a benchmark in order to be able to rightfully determine or predict the total cost of clearing a container, a consignment, as the case may be, all right, at any given time, which is one of the logistic performance indices that is used for measuring the performance of any country, including Nigeria large. So standardization of logistic services, ability to predict price or cost of logistics is very important. So Nigeria should key in. So that is what we want to achieve with that.
What are the other strategies you have in place to popularize this agenda?
Use of digital technology. So that is one method, one strategy that we are coming up with, because it is one thing to say it, is another thing for people to comply. So the only means by which you can comply is to go digital, such that we will provide platforms that will enable people to calculate cost of clearing particular consignment, as the case may be. So everybody will be able to have a clear idea. For example, if you have a BL, okay, and you are to approach 5 different service providers, especially freight forwarders, to give you quotation on that BL, the variation should not differ too much. So only a digital platform can provide that, rather than just speculation, and then the variation becomes so huge that you don't even know the hidden charges within the cost that you're given. So that is one strategy. Then another strategy is sensitization, like we started already by the stakeholder engagement. Okay, and another strategy is we're going to enforce it. This is not something to compromise about. Okay. We are marshalling out strategies to enforce it, so that nobody can dodge it or circumvent the process. So those are things. I might not give.
What if they
coming up? So if they circumvent it and anyone is caught, then he will have to face penalty around it.
Okay, there's already a law.
Yeah, detail I wouldn't give one there. So I leave that for the office.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Now, I did hear on the floor of that event that the council deals with individuals when it comes to registration, and not the association he or she belongs. So kindly explain this, sir.
Point of correction, not individuals.
Okay.
Industry.
Okay, the industry.
The council regulate the industry.
Industry. Okay.
The industry is made up of both individuals and corporate entities.
Okay.
And associations. So, but the perception has always been 5 registered associations. That is what the council regulates. I mean, it's a very wrong, as if the council is meant for only association. So that is the correction we are trying to make. Not only association. It regulates the associations, it regulates corporate entities who might not be members of associations, individuals who might not be members of associations.
Okay.
So these are the components or elements of the industry.
So the era of saying you must belong to an association before CRFFN can register you has gone. Is that what you're saying?
No, yeah, exactly. Somehow, to an extent, you find out that people have freedom to carry out their business in the way and manner they wish. Associations are meant for protection of certain interests of their members. So what if I don't want protection? What if I have my own protection and things like that? So you cannot force people to be in association or in anything. So it's voluntary. However, you are in the industry. You cannot play out of the rule. So in that case, the CRFFN regulations also covers you, and you must comply to the applicable regulations and policies that we are coming up with.
Okay.
It belongs to association. That is not what I'm saying. Yes, associations are important because they are watchdog of the industry. So we encourage associations in order to open our eyes, especially with the regulators, on practices that are abnormal that we might not see from our own end, and some of the policies we might be dishing out that we may not understand the impacts in the industry. Some of these things, the associations raise alarm and will be able to engage and have a midway around it.
Okay. Look for easy coordination too.
Exactly.
These associations, have they regularized their membership with council? And for those who fail to, if any, what are the sanctions?
Meant to identify with the regulatory agency. And in this case now, you find out that that's what brought about the registration of these associations. So now we have criteria for them to meet up with this eligibility for this registration. But under my own watch, all of that criteria is being reviewed at the moment, which we will unleash or unveil the new guideline for associations to be under the CRFFN register of books. Okay, so that is something we are coming up with. We are modifying the whole thing all over. So we are making a complete overhaul of what has existed before.
With the CRFFN registrar, Honorable Kingsley Igwe. This is a time you can call in, numbers to call if you want to participate in our discussion. Numbers to call is 0700 7000 977. I take it again, 0700 700 977.
And you can also call 091 625 71214. I repeat, 091 425 71624.
All right.
How are you collaborating with Nigerian Ports Authority and Customs to ease bottlenecks in cargo clearance processes?
Okay.
One of the gospel that I preached when I came in, especially at the early stage of this year, was collaboration with sister agencies and other stakeholders in the industry. Now, this collaboration will bring about plans, initiatives that can help move the industry forward. Collaboration in areas of measures or techniques to ease bottlenecks around the ports area, and also to enhance professionalism in the industry. So the first point of call for my collaboration was actually MPA. Okay, we had an extensive discussion. I think that information is within the public space. So the discussions boil down to how can the two agencies collaborate in order to enhance free flow of cargo through the ports, both in and out. And that was where we came up with initiative to strengthen education and training by providing the training that these people need, especially the truck drivers, the freight forwarders themselves to understand what is expected of them. For example, what is it that causes traffic along the port corridors? Is it the fault of the truck driver? Is it the fault of the policy that has been put in place? Is it the fault of the regulations or the government agencies regulating this sector? So all of this was discussed. Okay, so you cannot point it on one singular issue, but one of the traffic managers at the port terminals, one of the ports, when I visited, rightfully confirmed that most of the drivers need adequate training, that is truck drivers. And we have structured educational curriculum around that. And that was what brought about my visit to Amatu and the rest of the associations in order to aggregate their members together and be able to provide the requisite training, guidance, and all other processes that is required for them to watch how they contribute to bottlenecks around the port corridor. So that also is ongoing. I received a very good collaboration in that sense. The Apapa Port Complex manager was very helpful, and also in providing some of these training contents, including the Tinkan Island and other terminals. We intend to go to Lekki as well. We've already booked, just that the time is not due yet, and also extending it to other corridors. Same with airports and all of that. So this is one measure that we have taken already, and we're enhancing on that. You can see that the people, the practitioners themselves like the initiative. When I brought up the idea, they love the initiative. So we are solidifying on that.
For taking our time to come to talk to us to clear some of these issues which have been, raising some doubts, among the freight forwarders or the stakeholders. So this is where we call it a day on today's edition of the program. We want to thank especially our major sponsors, NPA, and our special guest today, Honorable Kingsley Igwe, Registrar CRFFN. We wish you success, sir, in your efforts to reform and transform the council. More power to your elbow. To our callers and listeners, thank you for being part of the program, even though that we had some issues today. See you same time, same station and frequency. From Fabian, Rani, Harry. What do you say?
Oh,
We
thank
wish
you.
all
Hope you had a
right.
nice
weekend.
Okay. This is your host, Ruth Sunday, signing off. Have a pleasant weekend.